This is the Hypothetically Sound podcast,
hosted by Alec, Randy, and Xavier,
where we take a hypothetical look at the world around us,
exploring the what ifs, maybes, and how comes.
Join in on the unfiltered, raw, and real conversations
as we explore the world around us. Welcome back to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you guys are having a great day, and we are back in our series looking at Apple Music's top 100 albums of all time. Today, we are on album number 91, Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1 by George Michaels. Alec, as always, I always ask you this before listening to the album. What did you know about George Michaels?
Never gonna dance again. He's guilty, feet of God. No, that's it.
Yeah, that's about it, and Freedom because of
commercials and shit. Yeah,
commercials, movies, Pitch Perfect, things like that. So that's all I really knew about him, and I'm pretty sure maybe in my head I was like, oh, he's one of those pretty boy singers from the 90s. That's what I thought. That's what was in my head about him. For you guys at home who don't know who George Michaels is, I'll give you some information real quick. George Michael is a English singer, English as in the UK. This was his second studio solo album, and actually his last album of original work until 2004. So he went 14 years without releasing an album with original work on it. Apparently, Listen Without Prejudice was a stark departure from his previous album, his first album called Faith. So apparently this was new for him, and it blew up. While he didn't win any awards in America, he did win the Best British Album at the Brit Awards in 1991. He was signed to Columbia Records and Epic Records in the UK. So, pretty popular dude. Should we get into it?
Yeah, man. I'm down.
Okay. So we're going to look at the first song on the album. There's only 10 songs on this album. It is a pretty short album.
No, it is not. 10 songs, but it's 48 minutes.
The songs are themselves long.
They are very long.
But it is short in the number of songs there are. Imagine if he decided to do 20 of these.
Bro, I saw 10 tracks. I was happy. I saw 50 minutes and I was like, hold on.
Something's not adding up.
Yeah,
it's like 1 times 1 not making sense if you were a certain actor.
Only I think only one song was under 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them are relatively like 4 to 5 minute songs. But with that being said, now you guys have more info. We look at track number 1 called Praying for Time. You want me to go first or you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. The positives. I thought the pre-chorus was the best part of the song. That's all I have for positive. The bad, I thought, and the version I listened to was the remastered version.
Mm-hmm.
So the original in my head has to be worse. I thought the dude was singing like in my ear right next to me weirdly. I don't know who chose to have him sing in an empty room with no sound absorption, but I didn't like it. Like, it sounded like he was in a big orchestra hall singing. And so like you get these weird acoustics in his vocals. And I just didn't like the sound of it. I gave the song a 3 out of 10.
Yeah. To me, it's just George Michael. Like, it feels, it gives off the vibes of something your moms would put on back in the day while she was cooking or cleaning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that seems to be a common theme for me throughout this album. I'm just going to say that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Like, it's not bad. It's just George Michael's. It's decent. It's a decent start to the album.
I am not gonna lie, it was not a decent start for me. I wanted to turn it off after this song. Like, I did not enjoy any of it, and like I said, it sounded like he was singing in my ear, like physically next to me, singing in my ear. trying to like get me really into his music, and I just did not like it. I did not appreciate it. And then we move to the second song on the album, probably the most famous song on the album, at least I think. It's called Freedom 90, as in the year 1990. Like I said, it's the only song of his on this album I knew, other than Guilty Feet. I don't know any of his other songs. And the only reason I knew this song is because of movies, commercials, like we said.
I'm sorry, did you say Guilty Feet?
Isn't that what it's called? Is it Guilty Rhythm? Is it No Rhythm? What's the song called?
It's called Careless Whisper.
Oh, is it called Careless Whisper?
Whoa. Wow, we might as well just restart now so that doesn't go through this.
No, I'm calling this Guilty Feet in my head. That's what I call it.
Yeah, it's not a movie about penguins, so that's weird. That's weird. Sounds like a bad sequel. It sounds like a sequel.
Guilty Feet.
Sounds like a horror remake or some shit.
They break a glacier and his happy feet's fought from all his dancing, and now he just has guilty feet.
Dude, if it's a horror movie, just imagine hearing the tap dancing coming at you as you like try to run through the woods. Like,
can we do like they made Winnie the Pooh? Why can't we do that?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think dancing penguins is really a copyrightable thing. So yeah, I guess we could. We're going very off topic here. Freedom 90. Oh my goodness.
I do think Pitch Perfect did it better. I maybe just because I like the movie, so maybe I liked it better. I gave the song a 5 out of 10, but I did right. I do think George Michael might be the king of pre-choruses, because it seems to be the only part in most songs that I like. But I do see why he was popular in the 80s and 90s. He has a weird funkiness to him, and I can see the songs drawing people in and them really liking it.
Yeah, dude, Freedom 90s, like I said, I recognized it just from like commercials and stuff. It's pretty good. It's used for a reason. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I don't have a lot of notes for these. Just George Michael's. Okay.
No, that's fair. Not every album is going to be super in depth. Some albums you just don't like, or some there's not a lot to say about it. We move to They Won't Go When I Go, track number 3. What did you think?
Oh man, it's the cover to a Stevie Wonder song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the Stevie Wonder song like better.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he does it justice. I think he does a good job. I looked it up. Stevie apparently liked the song too, and honestly, that's all that matters in that context. Anyways, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a good song.
So I didn't know it was a Stevie cover.
No.
I was really confused by the song. I wrote, is this song about a cult that won't follow through? Or is the song just about friends that pretend to be sad to fit in with him? Is he calling everybody fake because they don't show real emotion? I was really confused, apparently. I said, is he calling them godless? Then he starts talking about the rapture. And then finally I thought, maybe he's just talking about the greed of man and how people don't want to stop being greedy, but he will stop being greedy. I was confused by the song and the lyrics and everything, and I gave it a 3 out of 10.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, again, it's a Stevie Wonder song originally, so
and it would make sense. Like, it makes more sense. Like, all of the things that I said I was confused by in the lyrics would make sense because that's kind of Stevie's thing. But yeah, I'm still confused by the song. I was confused by the lyrics. Even if it's Stevie Wonder song, I'm still a little confused by it.
That's fair. Next we have something to save.
Yeah. Track 4, something to save.
Yeah, this one has a more acoustic feel to it. Throughout the whole thing. For me, again, it's just George Michael. Like if you were to be like, hey, play me some George Michael, and they play this, I'd be like, yeah, that's fucking George Michael right there. 6 out of 10. Sounds right.
So I did have Genius up as I was listening to the songs with this album, so I was reading the lyrics along with the song. why in every song so far does he make himself sound like he's so much better than everyone? Like he's saying that he's like in the lyrics, he says, I'm completely open to you, but why can't you be that to me? And I don't know. I don't understand his music. I said a lot of his music to me sounds like someone had mommy or daddy's money and got a label deal. Like honestly, so far when I listened to this album for the first time, I said at this point, 4 tracks in, I am confused why this is in the top 100. I gave it a 3 out of 10.
That's harsh and fair. Okay. Randy doesn't fuck with George Michael. That's all.
Not at all.
I'm gotta say. Don't fuck with the George Michael. That's cool.
Not at all. Then we move to track 5, Cowboys and Angels.
Yeah, you can hear the emotion in his voice a lot more in this song, in my opinion. At least I could pick it up. It does remind me of like an old timey. You're sitting in an old timey bar, drinking your drink on the rocks, and they have like live music playing of some nobody. But that nobody just so happens to be George Michael singing about a love triangle and stuff.
Yeah.
So 6.5 out of 10.
That's not bad. I said the intro reminded me of like a West Side Story dance battle. But he has a wild refrain in the song. He goes, I know you think that you're safe, Mr. Harmless deception that keeps love at bay. It's the ones who resist that we most want to kiss, wouldn't you say? It's wild. Like, no, that's weird. It's weird energy. No means no. Stop trying to force yourself on people, George Michael. Like, you already were singing in my ear very uncomfortably, and now you're trying to, like, she said no multiple times, or he said no multiple times, and you're still like, nope, you're the one I want. Like, I've always thought that whole attitude is weird. I kept saying no until she said yes. No, guy, this is weird. Anyways, off topic. I did say I think the song is about choosing the right partner, like you said, and understanding that just because you may like or love someone doesn't mean that they have to feel it back. At least that's what I hope he was trying to get to. I said, I don't know. His music is weird to me. I said, I did think, at least with this one, I like the style instrumental. The jazz feel to it was nice. And I thought it was constructed very much in a movie orchestra way. So far, it is my highest rated song. 5 out of 10.
Not bad for you. Holy cow.
Yeah. Like, you would think after saying all the weird stuff and calling them weird, I would give it a lower score, but the weirdness in the instrumentals, I guess, worked for me a little bit. 5 out of 10.
Okay.
And we move to track 6, called Waiting for That Day. I said, I don't think this is how breakups work. He has a line in there. But if I have to carry this pain, if you will not share the blame, I deserve to see your face again. Again, George Michael, that's not how things work in the world. Like, you're weird. People are telling you no, and you're just saying, I don't care. Like, but I also did notice that, at least I think it sounds like he samples Rolling Stones in this song. And I've always said sampling other people's work is a risk reward. Because if you do a famous song, if you like pull in someone's famous song, people are going to hear that and expect more of it or expect something to come. And when it doesn't, it kind of backfires. And that's what happened in this song. I was waiting for something with the track, and I just didn't think it worked. I gave the track an overall grade of 4 out of 10.
Oh boy. So yeah, man, this track long as hell. This shit dragged on, bro. I'll be honest. A common theme I had during this whole album, and I realized it here, is that the songs would start playing and my ass would start working on something else before I realized, like, oh yeah, I need to do this. Listening, like pay attention. And this just dragged, bro. It felt like it dragged forever. It's not a bad thing, by the way, me saying that like I used it as background music a lot. I think it's good to have a song or music that can do that, you know? Um, but yeah, this one was long, man. I thought it was over and it was just not. I felt like I was listening to it for an hour. 4 hours.
Yeah, so the Rolling Stone songs he samples is You Can't Always Get What You Want. And like I said, being such a big song, like you're waiting for more of that, and it missed. But we moved to track number 7, which is my personal favorite on the album, called Mother's Pride. And it's also apparently was the US favorite, the first one released in the US during the Gulf War, so it got a lot of radio play because of the message in the song. I said the piano in the song was really nice. Kind of gave it a bit of a Queen feel. It also has like the bluegrass storytelling, which is my favorite type of country music. I said it was sad song, heartfelt, like you could feel his emotion in the song. And like obviously it's a little political, with the line at the end that everything the man did made no difference, because facts of war. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I was a little shocked to see that it only had 5.6K views on Genius. It was one of his lower rated or looked at songs, but it's a really good song. I liked it a lot. Like, it was actually probably the best George Michael song I've heard.
Careless Whisper is a masterpiece.
And
with that being
Guilty
said,
Feet isn't that great.
Guilty Feet's that right. Careless Whispers class, okay? I'm sick of you disrespecting Careless Whisper like this. Anyways, yeah, man, Mother's the piano, the wind instrument in the beginning is fire. It's a good song through and through. Like the lyrics aren't very deep and they're very surface level, but at the same time they are, you know, because of the subject matter. It's probably my favorite on the album, I think. The guy even got like a little tiny guitar solo, like a 10-second little part, like acoustic guitar solo, you know? 8 out of 10. Pretty good. It was the first song that like caught my attention.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got 3 tracks left. We are on track number 8, Heal the Pain. What did you think?
I wasn't feeling it at first until the chorus comes along, and then like my pain went up as it kept going, like got better as I went to it. But yeah, it started off rough for like maybe like the first like 20 seconds, right? I gave it a 7 out of 10. Like I ended up.
Yeah. I said there seems to be in it. I think it's just how it was recorded and mixed and whatnot. A lot of his songs sound like he recorded on a karaoke machine. Like you get that type of like audio from it. It works for him, obviously. Like it had to be purposeful. But I thought the song was decently good. I get a little bit of a like elevated Beach Boys sound from it. I did say that this song and Mother's Pride definitely save the album from being like a 2 rating for me. I gave this a 6 out of 10.
Fair.
Then we move to track number 9, Soul Free.
Yeah, man. So this is a kind of funky track, right? I really fucks with the funk. I really do. And this definitely could have been my favorite on the album easily, right? Except this bitch goes on and on and on. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He has a section where he finishes the chorus and it's like it feels like 5 minutes of the beat. And then he does another chorus and it's done. And it's like, oh my god, bro. That shit drag on. I still gave it a 7.5, but like this had the potential to be on my playlist. Like none of these songs were going to be on the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
This had the potential, and then it just kept going. Like, damn, is it over yet? Going, bro. It's honestly like he asked them to like listen to the beat real quick so he can like get the flow again because he lost it. It just took him a really long time to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Or like he was listening to his recording off the side, and they're like, "No, just keep going. It's fine. I'll just listen over here, and when it's done, I'll come back." It was so long, man.
No, I agree. I said, yeah, it has a funky reggae feel to it. And I'm not going to lie. The first like 10 seconds sounds like I always come back to Lonely Island. It's because they make gimmicky music. It sounded like it was going to be a gimmicky, I want to do a reggae song, even though have no ties to the culture. And so I thought it was going to be gimmicky and weird, but it wasn't. It wasn't gimmicky. Like the first like 10 seconds transitions to what the actual sound of the song is, and it was better than I thought. Thought it was a solid track with a funky backtrack. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Very fair, very fair.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like I might have rated that one high because of my like thinking about it. It's like I've never fucking listened to that song again.
And that's the thing. Like with my ratings, like people, if they listen, like, oh, you guys are rating so differently, it's because we do rate songs differently. A 5, and I've said this I think I said in the first one. A 5 means that I will listen to the song again if it shows up in like a random playlist. Anything lower means I am willing to skip. Anything lower than that means like a 3 or 2 means I will go and dislike this song so it never plays on my stuff again. Anything higher than a 5 means that I will actively look for the song at some point in time. So like 5s on the album mean, yeah, if it came on, I wouldn't skip this George Michael song. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's normally how I kind of rate it. This one is like, I really just like, no, it's 50-50 for me. Because like sometimes I rate it bad because it's like I'll never listen to the song again. Sometimes I rate it good because it's like it's a good like first listen. I can't say it'd be good after, right? Kind of like, for example, Mother's Pride. I gave it 8 out of 10. It's a good first listen. If in context of the album and like after listening to all the albums, it was good. It was a very good part of this experience. I don't know if I would listen to it on the outside and say the same thing. You know? What I mean? So yeah,
fair. Then we move to the final track on the album, track number 10, called Waiting, the Reprise. I don't know if it was the same for you, but at points during the song, I thought I was listening to Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Like there's a couple points in the song where the instrumental and the melody geared that way, and I was like thought that was going to be the lyrics that came, and it didn't. It's not saying it's a bad song. I think this actually would be an interesting song to sing in concert if he did it acoustically. But yeah, otherwise it was just an okay final track. I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. So I said this essentially. I'll say it's in. I have heard the song before, but my favorite part of this song is that it was the shortest on the.
Yeah.
Nothing dragged on. It was a good, clean cut. Here we go, regular song. 6.5 out of 10. That's the best it's gonna get. One second, sorry. My brain just died. Fuck. I'm just sorry. I was just thinking about the fucking songs and stuff. Yeah, dude. Overall, like the whole album, it's George Michael. Like it's cool.
Yeah,
it's not my style. Even listening to it now as an adult, when hearing whatever, like obviously I enjoy Careless Whisper, but like there's not more than that from him, honestly, for me. I'm not putting this on the playlist. If it ever comes on the radio, if I'm paying attention, it's probably gonna get skipped.
Yeah.
It's good, but like people who like older music or like really need some like good background music to just work to or something, like George Michael's was probably it, you know. That's that's my thoughts. Like I gave the whole album a 6.5 out of 10, like
Fair.
total.
Yeah, I agree. If I am actively listening to music, like I'm actively searching for songs, want to listen to songs, have certain playlists in mind, a George Michael song comes on, I am most likely skipping it. But if we're on a road trip and I'm playing just all the music I've ever listened to and it comes on, I'm gonna let it play because it's not bad to the ears, it's not a bad sound, but it's just not anything I search for. I gave the album a 5 out of 10, which is the middle of the road. It is a listenable album. I can see why people liked it. I'm not 100% sure why this is on the top 100 and why it's 91 ahead of some other albums that we listened to, specifically Solange's. I don't understand how this was better as a whole, as a storytelling, any of the things. But yeah, I understand his popularity, and I just don't see it being deserving a spot, at least to me. And I feel like I've said this a couple times now. But yeah, I just don't. There's so many albums and artists that didn't make the list that are more influential to me, and just I think in general to music, that like I am being nitpicky with some of these albums, and this is one of them.
Mm-hmm. I mean that's fair. Again, I agree. I feel like this probably even should be on the list. Like I remember telling you when I saw the track list, I was pissed because "Careless Whisper" wasn't on it. It's I still consider it his best song. So like,
yeah, he's an old artist. Why not just do a greatest hits? Like I'm pretty sure they do a greatest hits at some point on the out list. I don't know. I could be wrong about that part. No, I thought the Eagles was the greatest hits, and it's just all their hits are on one album. Never mind.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think this is better than Eagles. Like I'm confused on this placement, but you know that's why they got paid to spend 100 hours making this list. But yeah, it's that time, Alec.
Yeah,
we are done talking about George Michael, and we're gonna give the people
not quite.
Oh, maybe not. Guilty feet, Alec. Shout out to the people.
Yeah, shout out, two shout outs this time. First, shout out to the people that know it's Careless Whisper. Secondly, shout out to everybody who has two first names like George Michael. And I'm talking, you know, like Brian Stella or Steve Cameron, Carter Quinn, you know, names that have just two first names for. I think it's kind of funny.
Frank Robert.
Yeah. What's weird though is like when you have a name like that, you can literally go by your first or last name, and then like no one will know. You can fuck with people so good. Like, hey, yeah, just call me Robert, and then this guy over here calls you Frank. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I had like in high school we called people by their last name.
I still do. Like I call my friends and stuff by their last name all the time. It's just a very normal thing for me to do. And so like I don't know anyone with two first names like that, but I feel like it'd be really weird at that point because like I don't know what to call them because they'd be like, oh, why does he always call you this? To like anyone that like doesn't know their last name, you know what I'm saying?
No, and that happened to me because we had a kid that had the last name Frank, and I just called him Frank. And then one day someone called him by something else, and I'm like, who
the fuck is that? Yeah,
and they're like, it's Frank. I'm like, yeah, Frank's. What's your last name, Frank? Frank. Oh, I thought that was your first name because it was just one of those like you get on a sports team and everybody's doing the last names and or just calling people, and so that's how you call people their names. And so I just called him Frank, and I thought it was his first name because like in the hood I ain't meeting no like two first name people. Like I can't think of one. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't, man. All those names I listed were ones that I just quickly made up after like an hour of like trying to figure out two names that work.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'd call George Michael, and then he like everyone would be like, "Why you call George Michael? Why do you call Michael George, bro? Like the fuck's wrong with you?" You know?
Well, we went off another tangent. This is an episode full of tangents. We hope that you have enjoyed George Michael's Listen Without Prejudice.
Which Randy did not, apparently.
I did listen with a lot of prejudice, apparently. Number 91 on Top 100. We are going to be back with number 90 here on Saturday.
Yeah, it's AC/DC.
AC/DC.
Back in black, bro.
So I'm excited. I enjoy me some AC/DC.
I do love me some rock, bro. And then after that, I was going to make a joke and start going down a list of all of them. But I realized that we're at 90. That's a long list, bro. That's a long list.
Comment on what you guys think will be our favorite track on the AC/DC album. Make sure you come back to listen to that. If you're listening to it in the future, still comment before you listen to the next one. And we hope that you guys are enjoying this series because we are enjoying doing it. As always, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere that you do social media. Hypothetically Sound. And until next time, have a great day. Deuces.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you enjoyed the episode. All episodes can be found at hypotheticallysound.podbean.com, as well as on Apple, Spotify, and Pandora. For full unedited video versions of the podcast, please visit us at youtube.com/hypotheticallysound.